Hello there, and welcome back to another SpellForce 3 video. Why am I doing another video of this? Well, because THQ Nordic came to me and they said, Zerk, look, we loved your last video, we know you're the greatest content creator of all time, could you do another video for us? We're nothing without you. I stopped polishing my golden yacht, turned around and said, yeah, alright mate, go on then. So here I am. Thanks to THQ Nordic for sponsoring this video. Today we're going to look a little bit more at the multiplayer side of things, or just the versus against the AI if you'd prefer. As you can see, it works like many other of these RTS versus types. We've got loads of different maps to choose from for varying amounts of players. So we're going to set up a little match, and I'm going to show you a few different things of a few different factions so we can get a bit of variety. I'm going to show you some early game humans, some mid game orcs, and some end game dwarfs. 3 of the different factions that you can be of the 6 in the game. And there is a really cool feature to this multiplayer as well, where you can actually assign different parts of one faction to different players or to the AI. So I could choose to control certain parts of it and have the AI do other things that maybe I don't want to do. For example, the economy. I could get the AI to control the economy while I just control the armies and army production. Or I could let the AI do the army production and I can just control the armies. And we can do the same thing with players. So you could have one player controlling the economy and the army production, and then one player doing all the stuff with the army. I think that's a really fun thing that I've not seen in a game before. Maybe it's been in other games, I don't know, but I've not seen it before. So I think that could be a really fun multiplayer, having 2 or 3 people run a faction rather than just one. If at any point in this video you want to check out this game, there will be a link in the description, or if you want to try it out for yourself, you can do that too, because there is a free-to-play version of the versus mode where you can play against other players or the AI. It is limited though, it's not quite the full game, but it's a free version, so you can try it out, and if you like it, you can go for the full game. Anyway, let's dive into some actual gameplay of this. So, early game humans. You can see I've got myself a crappy little farm to start with. This is where it all begins. So the map is broken up into sectors, and we need to take those sectors and control them and get resources out of them. So we need to construct the appropriate buildings near the resources. We've got stone there. We've put some wood down already. We can get food as well. All 3 very important resources. All the factions play slightly differently as well, so their kind of resource importance is kind of different. Like the dwarfs rely more on stone. The trolls have scraps that they need to find. So different faction economies and armies play slightly differently, which is always good. And we have to manage our workers. We've only got a set amount of workers until we upgrade our crappy farm into something better. So we can't build too many buildings. And we have to try and get the resources out. This is going to allow us to buy units and new buildings and upgrade stuff, so we can just get overall better and stronger. We need to expand out a bit to these flags to our side. So we need to make our hero, who I'm calling in from this godstone. You usually get the choice of a melee or caster hero, if you prefer a wizard type. So we need to come over and capture this flag so we can build another outpost, which is basically another one of these crappy town centers that we've got, but not quite as important as this one. This is our main base. We can build a few horsemen and some infantry from there, but we're going to need a proper military building so we can build some proper units. But at this point in a skirmish, you don't normally really need much of an army. Enemy players aren't really going to attack you because everyone's small and crappy at the moment. The AI likes to maybe send scouts through your camp sometimes, but that's about it. It's not till we get kind of the mid-game where we need to start worrying about things coming after us. There's some zombies defending this flag here, this outpost, so we've got to take them down. My hero and my 1 horseman, I've got that done. Now she can take this. And now we've captured the sector, which means it's ours to build in. Once we've upgraded this outpost, we'll get some workers, and then they can construct all the same buildings we've got in the other sectors for wood and stone and iron and whatever else. So a little further ahead now, our crappy farm has turned into a citadel, which comes with a whole bunch of benefits, including more workers, which means we can construct more buildings like this drill hall, which gives us arbalists, better infantry, better cavalry. We've got a forge over here, allowing us to upgrade those units, give them better armor or more damaging weapons. Over here we've got some towers protecting us from the west. That's another sector I took. Over here we've got an academy. We can make some fancy units here as well. So we've just been growing, just been expanding, increasing all our resources that you can see in the bottom right there, the wood, the stone, etc. Here we've got our iron mine with our workers going hard at it. These workers are individual units as well with health, so they can be killed. If you want to mess around with your enemies, you can go and kill all their workers and be sneaky. I keep getting attacked from this direction, so I've got these 3 towers here to protect. Been upgrading this area a little bit, but now I've got a little army ready. We're nearly at the mid-game. I've got my lord. I've got a bunch of infantrymen ready to go. Got a few ranged units, arbalists here with their crossbows, and then a few crappy cavalry units as well. A no fantasy human army would be complete without a few griffins, of course. So we've got a little bit of a force. We can push out now, go and try and take some objectives. You can try and do it before this. You don't really need to wait this long or anything, but that's how I've been playing it, and that's what's been working for me. You could send off a few scouts or kind of assassins to kill some of the enemy workers to slow their production down a little bit. But for me, I'm waiting back, sorting out my army. I've got them all assigned to groups, so I can try and organize them as best I can. But now we're ready to get out there and push into the mid-game.
Commander.
Now to the mid-game with some orcs, and if you know me, you know I've got a green heart. Orcs are usually my favourite faction, same here. We've got some warg riders here. These are ravagers, these are kind of heavily armoured ones, and then these are kind of skirmisher ones that throw javelins. Got my melee hero here, my occultist, and of course, a war troll, because I need someone who can smash down buildings, and he is the one for the orcs. So overall, I went for a cav-heavy army to start with, trying to be nice and skirmishy, nice and quick, get in, get out. Got the war troll for the buildings. We can produce wyverns though, we can get goblins, we can get orcs in heavy armor. We've got some options. So we got some different things we can mess around with, different kind of army styles we could play. I'm going for this cav heavy approach for now. We'll see how it works out. Now there's some cheeky dark elves pushing up here, trying to mess with my buildings. They've been killing some of my workers. These are some of the dark elf units. Cheeky casters there, they've got some archers. We're going to bring my boys over. They're going to sort them out, stop them killing my workers. Trying to slow down my production. They've got a base just to the south here, so we're going to push down and take that out in a second. Let's just make sure we kill them all around here, so they leave my damn workers alone. There we go. Let's push on down the hill and see what we've got. I haven't really scouted ahead. I know they've got some buildings. So we want to try and find the main base building here. You can see it shooting arrows at me. And there's only two buildings that seem to do that. The main base and watchtowers. So they don't seem to have any watchtowers, so this must be the main base. We're going to smash it down. They're going to try and repair it while we smash it down, but too much damage too quick. Now they're pretty much undefended unless they bring some units over to try and save all this stuff. Although they're apparently attacking me over here. God damn it. They got some spiders attacking my watchtowers. These sneaky dark elves. We're going to bring a fair old force over here. We'll bring all of my javelins. All my javelin wargs. It's kind of very similar to Lord of the Rings in how some of the factions are set up, especially orcs with the wargs. Those are very memorable from Lord of the Rings, and they're very much the same here, which is cool. Dark elves there with the kind of raptor rider. I'm going to rebuild this watchtower. I think we've cleared this sector. This is not a dark elf building, it's just a random building. Cool, so we can now take this outpost, claim it for ourselves, and start to take the resources that are left. We got rid of the raptor. We're okay. Oh no, there's another one over here. Cheeky. Oh, there's a bunch of boys. Oh, we got a fight on our hands. Bring the rest of the lads. Bring the ravagers, the troll. Oh, they're kind of going past us. Some of them are fighting us. Mostly I've been learning against normal AI so far. I've got one normal AI ally and then two normal AI enemies. Just been kind of learning the game against normal, and now that I've got to grips with it, I can crank up the difficulty, try hard, see how I do with that. Once I learn how to beat that, I'll move up to very hard or whatever. This would be a fun one to play on stream if I could get a few people to play it, or even just one other person to play it. Playing against the AI and having like the whole someone control the economy, someone control the units thing would be pretty fun. Taking down these dark elves here, finished them off. There's another raptor going after my watchtowers. I've lost quite a few boys here though. My wargs aren't very tough at the moment. I need to upgrade them with some better armor and things. This resource building, we shall upgrade one more time, make a few units here, and we shall start to construct some resource building so we can do all the harvesting. Got some good stone around here, some good wood. So we're starting to push out, starting to expand our territory. You can see on the mini-map my blue ally there has pushed out quite far. We're starting to push the yellow boys back, which is the dark elves. And there's also some regular elves, is the other enemy. I think they're in red. We'll just construct a little watchtower here in case anything comes to try and take it. And it would seem that this sector comes with a free bear. So things are looking up. Things are looking up. A little further ahead now, we've taken the main kind of central building that's in a little fortress, which is a nice place to hold. We're going to push out now properly into the Dark Elf territory. They've got an outpost here that they never actually built. And we haven't seen too much of any kind of main army of theirs. They've just had little bits here and there. They've probably been attacking my ally a little bit as well, my troll ally. My full force is here. I've got a wyvern now. There's something over here attacking my workers. There's a goddamn little spider here, killing off my workers, the little blighter. I think I can answer that well, though, with a good old wyvern. I think wyvern should top spider, and he'll be able to fly over here nice and quick. Is he coming? Oh, I've somehow selected my entire army. No, come back, come back, come back. Just the wyvern. Just the wyvern. Maybe I'll leave him back, actually. He could be really good for just defending, because he can move around quickly. Just start dropping fireballs on any spiders or anyone else who tries to take out my workers. Cheeky little bastard. There we go. Oh, arrow tower's going after him now as well. Nice. He got killed before the wyvern got there, but hey, we'll still use the wyvern as a kind of sentry, just to keep an eye out for anything around. A couple of dark elves over here taken out. Captured this outpost. Not going to build anything here just yet, but we're going to push through. Here we go. Got a little bit of a settlement that we can take out. Make our way towards their main settlement, which will be right in the corner. See, they've just got a little one here. They haven't upgraded it much. I guess if it was better AI, they would upgrade it more. They'd have more watchtowers. And they'd actually try to defend their stuff. You can see there's a worker trying to mend it, but he's not going to be able to keep up with the damage. Down that main building goes. Now we can take down all the rest of the stuff. There's one of our troll allies. He's having a little dance in the forest. So yeah, this is some of the mid-game. We're moving around. We're trying to capture stuff. The AI will be doing the same to us. It'll be a battle of territory. At least in this game mode. There are a few different game modes other than this one. But for this one, we want to try and take the enemies out, take all their territory to gain the victory. To some dwarf endgame then, where I tried to set up this to show you all the units nicely, but of course some elves came along and ruined it, and then all my units ran off and broke the pretty formation that I put them in. Goddamn dirty elves. But at this point in the campaign, you can see on the minimap, I've taken pretty much half the map with my very blue dwarfs. I tend to match them up to Warhammer colors because, you know, why wouldn't you? My troll allies here are moving in on some of the dark elf settlements. We're going to go and help them out with all our raging dwarfs. And the troll faction is the one that was recently added with the Fallen God expansion that came out the other week. They're pretty fun. They have kind of a smaller army overall. They don't have so many units, but their units are a lot tougher and a lot stronger as individual units. So that faction variety coming into play there. So you can see here we're charging in, trying to get after that main building with my berserkers with their dual-wielding axes. Some kind of big creature there for the Dark Elves. I don't know what that is. I haven't played the Dark Elves yet, so I don't really know their units. They seem to be, I'm not sure if they're trying to get away, but they ain't getting away today. Not with all my dwarf berserkers around. I'll show you all the dwarf units in a minute, or some of them at least. Got some really cool options for the dwarfs, a bit more exciting than other dwarves in games. Cough, cough. But overall, they are more of a defensive faction. They can build some pretty sweet towers. They can make tunnels. They have some cool abilities for some of the units. Whoa, there's a big dark elf army coming. There's a whole lot of bad things coming. We need to go and take them out. Trolls and dwarfs fighting side by side. Who knew? Who knew it was going to happen? Coming in. We're mostly just charging in with a whole bunch of berserkers. Look at the trolls just making a base in the middle of the carnage. Not time for constructing outposts. It's time for killing dark elves. My berserkers, I think, mostly have it covered. They hit pretty damn hard. Taking out this emissary of Nor. Finishing off the dark elf buildings in the area. And the trolls have claimed the sector. So they'll be able to take over, start building stuff. Be able to defend it a little bit. We're finishing off what's left. There's a lot of dead spiders, a lot of dead trolls. So many wall breaker trolls there that died. We'll let them clean up the rest of the mess. We shall prepare to attack the next place. We're just going to chill out for a bit and heal. You do get kind of auto healing, so all you have to do is stop fighting and everything will heal. So it's nice and simple. And there was something going on over here on the map actually. Oh, there's a million spiders eating one of my outposts. Brilliant. Just what I wanted. God damn it. So some of the dwarf units here. We got the berserkers up front. Dual-wielding axe infantry. Very hard-hitting. We got some pyromancers. Dwarf pyromancers. Dwarf sentries. Some regular dwarf warriors. So we got all kinds of different dwarf units. There is even dwarf mole cavalry. That's right. Mole cavalry. They're not fantastic. They're just kind of a scouting unit. But they are quite fun. And why have I never seen that before? Dwarfs on moles, riding moles. It makes so much sense. Anyway, we're pushing on the final Dark Elf building now. This is their main building that they would have started the game with. We're just going to overwhelm them with berserkers pretty much. They don't seem to build too many watchtowers to defend with. Maybe on higher difficulties they will, but this is just the inevitable end to the Dark Elves. They're 2-on-1 now. Dwarfs and trolls against the Dark Elves. We're going to take them out, so this is just the end. But it's good. It's fun. And against other players, it'll be a bit better as well, because they'll be a bit smarter than AI generally. Although, like I say, I haven't tried the hardest AI, so I don't know how good that is. I'm sure it's a challenge, though. They'll probably get some buffs and things. And against other players, it's going to be a bit harder as well. And it would be extremely fun if you had all the teams with like 2 or 3 players on them playing different parts of the economy and the army and stuff. That could be really fun. But check this out if you want to. SpellForce 3 Versus Edition. You can find it on Steam. It's free. You can download it right now if you wish. I'll probably be streaming it a little bit. I'll try and get some people to play, see if we can try out that economy army control thing. But there we go. Victory for us today. The dwarfs have won it. let's have a look at the end, because there is some quite cool stuff that we get at the end, which I wish more games had this kind of stuff. So we get to see all the stats, which, you know, obviously you normally do with most games. So we get the numbers of everything, which is cool, but we also get graphs of everything as well. You can see army size, base size, sectors. You can see who was doing what at any particular point in the skirmish. And yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it. I like this kind of analysis and to be able to see what the other factions were doing. You can see the trolls went a bit mad here about mid-game with base size. They went huge somehow. But yeah, just a nice little feature to have some graphs to see what went on in the level. But there we go. SpellForce 3 Versus Edition coming with the Fallen God expansion that recently came out. There is an older expansion as well, Soul Harvest, which I believe brought the dwarves and dark elves into the game. And then there's the base game of SpellForce 3 itself. And those all come with their own single-player RPG campaigns if you'd rather do that. If you like the look of the game but you're not so into multiplayer or skirmishes, you've got those options too. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the future.